a direction and tutorial of how to use iCivics. So iCivics was created by Sandra Day O'Connor, the former Supreme Court Justice, as a way to help students engage with government and the happenings of government. And so going through this, if we go to the top of the page, this is the home page. What I'm going to show you is how to engage as a teacher. Before we do that, most of what iCivics is known for is for their flash games. And it's really easy to go through here and kind of click on each one. One that introduced me to iCivics was Argument Wars. I've used this in my course. You can play the role of the Supreme Court justices arguing pretty famous cases: Baker v. Carr, the one man, one vote, Brown v. Board of Education, which desegregated public schools. A couple of new things: the Immigrant Nation one, where you can choose who comes in and who does not, and go through the process of, what allows someone to come, what allows someone to kind of pursue the American dream. And then another one too, just because we recently had an election, is Win the White House. And a lot of these games now are also offered as mobile apps. They do work best as on the iPad, but can definitely work on Android and other Apple devices too. So that's the games. I'm going to go over the teach component here, and you can access a lot of the teaching component things here. You can click through the games. The scope and sequence document is really good because there's so many resources and it is a lot going on. And so this can really go through and show you what to cover if you want to use their different packs here. And also they have some professional development. And then if you want to go through each of the units themselves, click for middle school or high school. And what I'm going to show you is actually how to assign this to an actual class. So if you go to the sign in, you'll have to create your own account. You would want to click register as an educator or a parent. So I've already done that, so I'm going to sign in here. And I linked it to my school account. Now, once you log in, it'll pull up this page that has tons of resources. Highly recommend checking out this video that goes through. Basically, what I'm doing is a lot of what the video does too. You can subscribe when there's new things that come out. But most importantly, you can look through and see which lessons using Kami that you can assign to the students, which are great for virtual learning, specific lesson plans. And of course, the games are really why you should use iCivics. But new and more of what they're adding over the last few years is these web quests. The web quests, I think, are important because they allow students to kind of access other materials online, and they're especially easy with virtual learning. And then when looking at primary sources, of course, when trying to build those historical analysis skills, this is a great way for students to look at real world issues and look at the actual documents and then reflect and make their own decisions for themselves too. Okay, so this is the starting page. Let's go to the Teacher Hub. So now that I'm logged in, what I would like to do is, you can see now they're updating the avatar component. I was sad, but you can check back that later. Students will be able to join classes. So what is most important, if you go to classes, there's two ways to do this. One way is you can do it by creating a class on iCivics. The other way you can do it is by syncing your Google Classroom. So to show how to create a new class, just click to create a new class. And we'll just call this new class. We'll say new class 2. For the password, you can create whatever password you want. And then it'll give you a pre-generated code. And the classroom code is for students to join. And I will demonstrate how students can join in just a moment. This is our new class to explore iCivics. Then you scroll down and click Save. So then at that point, students can join with this class code Vincent94534. So to do that, to allow students to join, is you go to Sign In, and you click the Register as Students, and students can go to this, wait, I have a class code. And you can share this link with them. It's iCivics.com, or excuse me, iCivics.org/register, and this should pull up. And so the students would enter the class code, they create their own username, and then they would join the class. So if I go back to our sign in, and this will pop up each time. Okay, here we go. So go into the classes. So our new class number 2, students would type in Vincent94534, And if I go here, I can add a couple of things. I can add an announcement to go to the class. So it's like a portal, like a Google Classroom or Schoology here. And you can also import students on your own, right? One way is you can add their email address here. But once students are added, then you can go ahead and create an assignment. So this is how you can fully access all the materials from iCivics. So we'll say that this is the founding of the Constitution. This is what I want to call the assignment. And let's say it's due tomorrow. And from the content, you can go. So I want to look at Constitution. So if I type in that, there's a lot of activities that come up here. And so one thing I want to look at is maybe I want to look at the anatomy of the Constitution. It's a lesson plan, and these are the directions that will come directly from this. I can also add these to myself. Email Mr. Pullman with any questions. Okay, so I would want to add it to new class 2, and I click save. And then from here, although we don't have any students in here, you would be able to see the content or the completion here. If I go to view details, I can also look at the actual lesson plan. Now, if you're curious what they are, you'd have to go through here. So let's go foundation. And we want to look for the anatomy component. Okay, so view full lesson. Now the other thing, if you don't want to do it as an assigned material, you can also download the PDF version. But if we go preview assignment, we can just get an idea of what the students would be completing. Now it keeps it as a portal. It saves their progress using this program Kemi. And as students go through, they would read a little bit, answer some questions. So here's the preamble, a little bit of reading, really just general content reading. And then they would go through and they would answer the materials here. You can see it as a PDF version. And you can also choose the difficulty, high school, middle school. And that's really the best way to use iCivics. One last thing, I just want to preview a game because the games are so much fun. So let's actually try Immigrant Nation here, just because it's newer. So you can do full screen, and this one you can download as an app. Like I said, works probably best with the iPad, and hopefully we'll get some sound here. So as it's loading, I'll just kind of walk us through this game, and recommend modeling it for the students. There it goes.
Welcome to Immigration Bay. This is the first. Welcome to. See the 5 harbors behind me?
And if you go through, just turning the sound off, you basically have the option of, being like an immigration advocate here. So I was born in Alaska, terrified of moose, been living in a moose-free Mexico, but it's time to face my fears. I'm ready to live in peace with the meese. Born in Alaska. Okay, American citizen, so they can go in. So you can send them along. Or there might be someone who is like a flight risk or could be like on a security issue. So let's check. My records show I am a threat to national security, but I promise to be good. No, deny entry. Maybe. There we go. Okay. And yeah. There we go. Deny entry. Great. Vote. Struggling here. Then deny entry. There we go. Good catch. Okay, very good. So this is iCivics. Lots of good games. And then you can also, as far as the download teacher materials, there's different things that the students can look at. So this guide to immigration and really offers students a much more interactive way to go through and really learn about the inner workings of our government.